Hello everyone, this is Eric with Sim Media, and I am going to be recording a two-part video. The first video we're going to be showing you, it's a beginner's guide on how to just take off the plane and land it. Nothing too serious, not looking into the checklist and whatnot. So it's just pretty much what I do if I'm, having a boring day or if I just want to do a quick flight. This is what I do, and you don't have to follow them, but this is just pretty much the easy way of how I do things. We're going to be using flightaware.com. It's where I use real flight data, and then we're going to be using simbrief.com also, and that's, you need an account for that, and that's where I program my flight and doing the altitude and get the SIDS and stars and all that jazz. So today we're going to be departing from Las Vegas, KLS, Kilo Lima Adam Sam, and then we're going to be landing into Denver. So that would be Kilo Delta Edward Nora. And so we're going to be going into FlightAware here real quick. And we're going to be using Southwest flight number 1942. It takes me about 10 to 15 minutes just to set up the flight into the FMC. So it says right here at 3:34 p.m. that's when it departed. So I'm going to start the flight at 3:20 into X-Plane 11. That's where we'll be using today. And we're going to be departing from gate Charlie 25, and we're going to be landing in Denver, like I said, and we're going to be going into gate Charlie 29. All right. So the first thing I do is grab all this data, get the time and the gate numbers and whatnot, and the flight number. After that, I go into SimBrief. I go to dispatch and dispatch system, and I'm going to create a new flight. Here we're gonna do Southwest, and that's Sam, William, Adam, and the flight number was 1942. We're gonna be leaving KLS and arriving into Denver. We're gonna be using ZivaMod 737-800 series. So there's that. After that, what I do is where's my pen? After that, I grab the route that I'm going to be using, and I write it down here in my notepad. So I'm going to do that real quick. And so the first thing is the departing. Then we're going to do the route itself here real quick. Let me just write it down. And tell her R2. After that, I do the analyze the route, make sure everything's okay. I generate it. I know my Eric cycle is not current. I haven't updated my subscription, but it works. So it looks like we're gonna be cruising at altitude 370. So the first thing I do, I grab the fuel where it says block fuel, and I grab that number 803 I mean. Then I go into grab the flight altitude. Then I scroll down here real quick, and it looks like we're going to use a cost index. And the cost index, what it means is how fast we'll be traveling. Some companies use up to 45, and I think we can go as high as 999. I'm not sure. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but today we're going to be using cost index 12, and we're going to be departing from runway 19 Lima, 19 left, and we're going to be landing in runway 8 in Denver. I keep scrolling down, and I grab the final reserve, which is 1.2, and I keep scrolling down here, and I grab the zero fuel weight of 134.2. So that's all the information that I need, and now I am ready to set up this flight. So I close my windows there, and we'll be right back with X-Plane loaded. All right, everyone. So we're now in the simulator here, and like I said, we're using X-Plane 11 version 11.20, which is the current one. And the first thing I do is set up the parking brake, obviously, and then, like I said, this is all not checklist. This is just what I do just to get the plane off the ground. Okay, so we're gonna start the main power here, and And I do apologize. I don't know all the names to the buttons and switches here, so just bear with me. I'm still learning all this, but this is just from videos that I watched and how people do it. So, so this is what I do. Okay. So after we get all that started, you can see we have the cockpit on. So then I go into the FMC here, and like I said, it's not my nav data is outdated. I know that. So I'm gonna set up the fuel and everything else. So the fuel we're gonna be using 13,803. So what I do is put 18.8, and my zero fuel weight is 134.2. So it's pretty much there. So I'm gonna switch it here to 43 even, which is the payload, and actually let's go 42.9. to make that accurate. So there we go. 134.2 is what I have here. After that, we're gonna go into the position. We're gonna set that up real quick. So after that is done, we're gonna do we're gonna align it real quick. I forgot to do that. Alright, no problem at all. Alright. So we're going to set up the IRS position here, and we're going to get the left GPS. You just click on that button right there, go to previous, you select there, and we're departing from KLS, Las Vegas. And we're on, I had to change the gate because the gate we were in, they were all Continentals, so I wanted to switch up where all the Southwest Airlines sit. So we're in actually Charlie 2 right now. So we're gonna go to route, and we're gonna do the origin, which is KLS, and we're gonna go into Denver. We're gonna be departing runway 19 left, and we're gonna be using flight number 1942. After that, we're gonna go to the next page, and we're gonna enter our route, which is David Victor Charlie, and then from there we're gonna go to Wolf. So that's William, Oscar, Lincoln, Frank. So we're gonna activate it. And then we're going to select our departing, which is trial 39. And we're going to be going into DVC. Then we're going to go into our arrival, and it's going to be runway 8, ILS 8. And then we're going to be using teller 2. Here it is. And it's our last. It's gonna be Wolf. We're gonna hit execute, and then we're gonna go into the Lex page, and we're gonna select all these and make sure that we don't have any discontinues. So then we go into, once we get into the performance page, I'm gonna start the APU. So you can hear the fuel coming in, and we're gonna hit start. We're gonna hold it there until that red light comes on. So we let go of that light. Then we're gonna go into the cost index, and we're gonna be using 12. And then we're gonna insert our reserves that we used. It is 1.2. Then our zero fuel weight, we just select that, and it automatically puts it in there. We're gonna do 18.8 for our fuel, and it said we're gonna be using altitude of 370. So about this time, we should be having APU, and we do have the APU. We select those, we turn off our ground power, and then we go back into selecting our. We continue here, and we go to the N1 limits. And now to get the outside temperature, we just go up, and it says right there 31 degrees Celsius. So we're gonna hit /31. It's gonna calculate it, We're gonna do the takeoff, and then normally we use flaps 5. It's gonna calculate. Then we the zero gravity 23.7% at trim 5.07, and then we're gonna select our V1 or V rotate and our V2 speeds, which is 150. Our trim, we're gonna set it to 5.07, which is about right there. And right before that, then we're gonna go into put our V2 speeds here of 150, and we're gonna go to 370. So as you can see, the ILS was aligned pretty quick, and like I said, I don't want to wait to do the real thing. So in order to change that, if you do want to change it, you go to other config here, and then I just put short. And if you want to wait there for the real thing, then you just hit real, and that's it. So that's what I did there. Other than that, you're pretty much ready to go. After this, then you're gonna go and do the you're gonna take off your yaw damper. You're gonna wait, and you go down. Go smoking sign to on. Fasten seatbelts to auto. You're gonna put your packs on, and then we're gonna set our altitude. This is for the pressurize the cabin. So we're there. We're at an altitude of 2,260 feet. So we're gonna set that up real quick here. That's fine. So we're gonna set our lights into the steady position there, and it's pretty much almost ready to go. Let's just make sure everything looks right. I am using X camera. If you're seeing all these animations on the camera HUD, what I'm using, and that's pretty much what I'm using there. So there we go. We're gonna set to our brakes there, just in case we have any problems while during rollover and takeoff, and that's where I'm gonna set the brake system to RTO. Reject takeoff. We're gonna set our flight directors on for captain side first, and then co-pilot, and we are ready to go. So here's our plane. We're using the Beats livery. I am using the Zibble mod with RG mod, and that's how we're getting the winglets there, which is pretty nice. I am using the more advanced engines also. I'm gonna be using the pushback. We go to plugins, better pushback, pre-plan. So we're gonna plan our pushback here real quick, and it's gonna be a really tight fit. So let's set it up right there. And we're gonna hit enter.
Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
So our pushback is ready to go. So let's start that real quick. We're gonna start the pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Also, what I am using is Airport VS. We're gonna turn that on. So we're there. Taxiways. So we're gonna zoom in here, and our runway would be 19 left. So let's see. I am pretty new to this software here. So clear route. I think I have to select that. There you go. Cool. So we're gonna accept that. So that's the route. That's the fastest route.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
that is our fastest route to 19 left, and that's what we're going to be using there. So so yeah, this is a cool software that I just got a couple days ago, Airport VS, and it's pretty cool. And it's going to show us the heading and everything, which we're going to be heading. So we're going to release the parking brake here. There's the outside. Oh yeah, there we are. Alright.
So connected and bypass and in service. Release parking brake. Starting pushback. And you may start engines.
Alright. So we're gonna start all our fuel there. We're gonna turn on our window heats. And we're gonna wait for that. And we're gonna turn off our packs. That way we get all the oxygen, all the air going into the turbines there. We're gonna start engine 1. So we're gonna wait until it gets to 20%, then we're gonna introduce the fuel to the engine there. Okay. Engine 1 starting. As you can see, we're getting pushed back there. Guys, hopefully you guys can hear this into the while I'm recording. I guess I should have done a test real quick. Okay, so engine 1 looks like it's close to being started there. Alright, so engine 1 started fine. We're gonna close that, and then we're gonna start engine 2. Man, this AI, what are you guys doing? Alright, 17, 18, 19, and 20%. Starting engine 2. Engine 2 started successfully. We're gonna turn those on. We're gonna turn off the APU. We're also going to put the packs to auto, that to auto, turn off that. We're gonna probe heats, we're gonna turn those on, electrical 2 and 1. We're good. Alright. Anti-collision on. We're gonna start taxi.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
I don't know why it took me this far back.
Stand by.
Alright, so while we're waiting until we get disconnected here from the tow thing. Man, he put us far back. We're gonna wait here for a second. And then we're gonna follow this magenta route into takeoff, 19 left. We're gonna wait here for a second. We're gonna set our flaps to 5, and that's 3 clicks, and you're gonna see those go to there. So there's our 3 clicks, and we can see our flaps coming down. Flaps coming down to 5 degrees.
So it's disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
So that's better pushback, and it's ready to leave the plane here. You can see it go away. Alright, so we got that. So let's release the parking brake. And we're gonna go 40%, and then we're gonna roll it back for a little bit. So depending on the weight, and I've flown a couple flights, and you can hear the plane spool up to 30-40% just for like a quick second, and it rolls back down just to get the wheels rolling. And then it all depends on the weight of the plane too. So there's that. Well, and I hope everybody had is having a good Wednesday so far. It's kind of cloudy here where I live, so yeah. I am using Ortho 4 X-Plane, and that's oh my gosh. That's pretty much using Google Earth satellite pictures and putting them into the simulator. It's pretty cool, actually. So we're gonna turn right here. And for the joystick, I am using the Veki B Sim. I did a review, I think, about 10 months ago, I'm gonna say. Let's go straight. You don't have to follow that line, but I'm not gonna go all the way out there, but I'm just gonna follow this line here. Then I'm gonna turn right on George, taxiway George.
A few moments later.
And like I said, guys, I know I've missed a lot of things, and like I said, I'm not doing this like real flight. I'm still learning how to do all that stuff, but this is just how I take up real quick. So we're gonna stop right here. We're gonna turn on our landing lights. We're gonna turn on our wing lights.
Flight
there.
attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
Looks like we're gonna turn on our VNAV and LNAVs. Arm the auto throttle. Turn on our GPS there. We're gonna look at the lights, make sure everything's fine. Alright, we're gonna start our clock. Alright, so we're gonna close this real quick. Let's make sure there's nobody there. Strobe lights. Forgot to do that. So we're gonna go 60% toga. Try to be center line here. Using our rudders.
80 knots.
80 knots. And our V2 is gonna be 150.
V1. Rotate. Positive rate.
Gear up. And we're just gonna follow that magenta line right there.
400.
Alright. So we're gonna hand fly here for a second.
1,000.
We're 1,000 feet here, above ground. We're gonna go to flaps 2. We're gonna go to flaps 1. Flaps are all the way up now. Still gonna keep flying here. right. Alright. Pressure down on the joystick here. So we're pretty much following that magenta line and trying to keep the everything there. Left. And we're going to turn on our autopilot here. And we're pretty much leveling off here, and then we're just gonna be enjoying the scenery. Like I said, this is all photorealistic. It's zoom level 16. So we are flying at 60 frames per second, and this is at resolution 3440 by 1440p, which is 2K resolution. So yeah. Alright guys, so this is the first level, or the first part of the series of beginner's guide on how to take off and land the plane real quick without doing any checklist, and how I do it. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the rest of your day, and I'll be uploading here in a couple days the landing. So alright guys, take care, have a good one, and enjoy the rest of the day.